Welcome to my third attempt at making this video. This is a tutorial on how to make bases, the bane of the art community. I see so many of these damn things on Deviant-art, along with Sonic recolors. Same people seem to draw them too. They're basically these outlines of people that you draw over to get your own characters, and then they ask you, can you please give me credit? You have to give me credit. U.S. copyright law states you have to give me credit. Well, no, you don't. Because according to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and a bunch of other copyright law and all that shit, like if you change a work of art enough to a point it's something completely different, it's your art. If what they said was true, excuse me, I'm a little fucking haggard. If what they said was true, that would mean that every piece of like modern art that has like collage in it or like something else in it or is based off something else that's parody and shit, that would be like fucking illegal, and those people would be in prison. And that never fucking happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a program called Manual Bastioni Labs to actually make some bases, because there's also a way of doing it so you don't have a lot of whiners. I'm shit talking. I know I'm not perfect, but you know, it's fun to fuck with people, isn't it? Sometimes troll a little bit. So I have it already enabled. It's an add-on. If you don't know how to add add-ons in Blender, I don't know what to tell you, but you know what? You can use another program called Make Human that does similar things, but you have to use Blender to really pose anything, or I don't know what the fuck else other program you can do this in. But this is way easier. Give him some love. Manuel Bastioni, whoever he is, sounds Italian. So I click this thing called init character. You go to this thing. Well, there's this thing that, you know, you can choose the race and gender of the person, and it's basically like every color of the rainbow, and you can even add dwarves and elves or whatever. I need to press the shift cursor because yeah. Oh, by the way, if you want to put your camera here, go here, go to your tab. Oh, sorry. And click lock camera, zoom in. That's how you can control your camera. It's in the tab. This is for something we're going to do in a bit, which is render. Oh shit, I gotta press the shift key and I'm holding my mic. Excuse me. Okay, so this is like really one of the hardest things it is to draw if you suck at anatomy, which, I mean, I'm not the best at anatomy, but I can draw that without this. But I do use programs like this. Like I use Manual Bastioni Labs to basically make bases to plans perspective and things like that. A lot of the time, sometimes I can just use a block and get the perspective. But this is more a tutorial for people who can't really draw this. And which, you know, by the way, I will say sometimes I will do this to make sure I get, like, you know, the right kind of, like, you know, proportions and shit, especially if they look more realistic. And I'm not doing my really cartoony style, but I mean, I understand why people need to make bases, so I'm not trying to piss on people, but it is annoying when people fucking make bases and say, you know, really shitty bases and say, give me the credit. Give it to me. You know, that kind of shit. All right, anyway, so you click finalize. By the way, before we finalize anything, you can control any parameters of this. So basically you can make your character in here exactly how you want them to look. Like how fat, skinny, tall. You can change the way their eyes are shaped, how long their fingernails are, how their body proportions can be changed as well. So it's not like, oh, I'm just like using this off-the-shelf model that somebody made. This is something that's completely customizable and you can make to your liking. It's better if you make it, you know, the way you want, so you get what you want if you really want a detailed base to work off of. You click finalize. Make sure you're in Blender render. This is going to take a while, but one of the other things you need to know, and this won't let me do anything. Oh god, look, this spinny spindle of death. Yeah, there we go. So wow, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm not doing here, man. I'm confused. Okay, so go to your materials tab, which is right here. when you got properties, this is a default Blender setup, except it's on energy. Like, it looks a little different if you just download it like this, but it's pretty much the same. There's a negative thing here. Let's get rid of all our materials. Unless you want to make materials, but we're not 3D modeling, are we? We're making bases. We're basic bitches. Okay, so that's done. And that will actually help us render it a little bit faster because there's subsurfing scattering in some of those, and you don't want that because that takes forever, and we're not rendering a video game character. Okay, click edges, and what that's going to do is that's going to make line art. You can use freestyle, but that has to calculate the mesh, and these are really detailed meshes, and you don't want to do that because it will take forever for this to do. This will appear in the render. Now you can change your lighting. This just, like, it has harsh shadows the way the lighting setup is, which you could change by doing, for example, ambient inclusion. And what that does, I didn't say that right, is it lights up the scene very evenly, and so you can kind of see everything that's in the dark. It takes a little longer, but since we're doing Blender render and we're just rendering characters, this should be fine. By the way, this is great if you want to like model quick little buildings and get perspective, which is great if you're doing like a lot of like spaceship backgrounds or things like that. This is basically the hardest way to do this. If you actually aren't trying to make line art, which I don't think you should, because it will look like these models, this is the quickest thing you can do. Sorry. There we go. Oh my god. It took like 5 seconds. Let's do that again. Let's do it from a different perspective. We're still attached. Oh, no, we're not. So, like, you can control your camera and control, like, shots. It's actually like moving a camera around to see. You have to click shift. I can't because I'm holding a mic. What's this? Oh, yep. See, that's up here in the render tab, and down here you have OpenGL render image, and you can just render those. It's gonna render your armature. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. But if you wanted line art, you could do all the other stuff. So this is how you can make bases that are basically suited to your needs in Blender. And oh, another thing that you should know about these models when you're doing this is they're posable. You see, oh, look at that. Look, see, you can, for free, mind you, the cost of free, you can basically control every aspect of how this model is shaped. I'm forgetting how to do it. Oh, there. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I have to put it in pose mode. Yeah, so... See, you can move it. Wait, oh, you can't see that very well. Let's do it right here. Let's select the whole model. Clear transform, because this is how it was posed. So there we go. See, look, it's like Westworld. Yay. All right, there we go. So you can put in T-pose, do whatever you want. You have base. They have guys, dwarves, all that kind of stuff. Use it if you want to make bases. Stop getting bases from whiners. You don't owe them fucking anything. Alright. Well, that's the end of this really sad tutorial. I hope I make more in the future. I might not. I don't know.